Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Geeky Avishek once again from here in Dallas, Texas, and today I'm bringing you the review of the HP 14-DQ 1043CL. So, this is a 14-inch laptop with the latest 10th generation Intel i3 processor and is currently on sale $100 off at Costco for just 350 bucks. Before I get into the detailed review, let me give you a quick rundown of the specs. Um, it's powered by the 10th gen Intel Core i3 1005G1 processor. It has a 14-inch IPS uh, FHD, that is 1920 is to 1080p display, 8 gigs of 2666 DDR4 RAM, 256 gigabytes of NVMe solid state hard drive. Also has 802.11 AC wireless, Bluetooth 5.0. Does also have a full HD webcam with integrated digital microphones, backlit keyboard. In terms of the I/O, it has one USB 3.1 Type C, two USB 3.1 Type A, one HDMI port, uh, SD card slot, headphone microphone combo jack. A 41 watt hour battery, which claims HP claims to be about 10 plus hours of battery life. I'll get to that in the video, and weighs about approximately 3.2 pounds. In terms of Windows, it does come with the Windows 10 Home in S mode, but it's very easy to switch out from that. Let's take a look at the laptop. The side profile, as you can see, looks pretty good. It's pretty slick, looks solid from all four sides. So as you can see, all the ports are on the right side of the laptop versus on the left. That was kind of an issue for me when I had everything hooked up. I just felt all the wires were coming on the way of my mouse. So if you are a right-handed person, do keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at the keyboard and the screen. I'll turn it on. So overall, great specs for $350 considering it's brand new and from a reputed retailer who also provides 2 years warranty and extends another two if you have the Citibank Costco card here in the US. Now the first thing you will notice even before the build quality once you set this laptop up is that the fan is really noisy. I am not kidding or being super sensitive. If you check the reviews on the website, you would you the same thing is being discussed over and over again. However, I did find a partial fix. Updating the BIOS to the latest F 1.1 version makes it much better. It's not fully fixed and you can still hear the fan go off, but at least much less than before. I also did repaste the CPU and check the heat pipes, and I can tell you there's no need to repaste the CPU because there was a generous amount of thermal compound already applied. Now build quality wise, it's all plastic and doesn't feel premium or solid, just average. That's what you expect from a budget laptop. The panel gaps are there. They are not uniform and you can see the mark from the die. Also there's a little bit of flex, but fortunately it helps to keep the laptop light because of this plastic construction for just about 3 pounds. um, Now let's talk about the screen. Full HD 1920 by 1080p IPS. It's glossy with decent color contrast, but definitely not XPS or NV quality, but not trash either. It's somewhere in between. The screen gets also very bright. In fact, one of the brightest screens in budget laptops so far, and I was able to use the screen most of the time at just 50% brightness. In terms of the speaker, I like the fact that they are placed on the top of the keyboard instead of bottom firing. So I think it's a little bit easier to hear. And if you're using, and you don't really have to have the laptop on a hard surface, and if you're actually using it, placing it on your lap and on something soft like a blanket, the speakers don't get obstructed. Volume wise, they are not the loudest, but not teeny either. I would say they are just okay. So let me go ahead and unlock that and I'll play something in a bit. Uh, in terms of the keyboard, the keys have decent amount of travel and feels a bit mushy, but not bad. Only thing I hate is the white backlit on silver keys, which makes it actually harder to read when the backlit is turned on. So I think the silver keys are just easier to read even in the dark with the backlit turned off. The trackpad is what we would expect from a budget laptop. Feels a little bit cheap, and missed a few clicks here and there, but overall it's not frustrating to use. Just that I have found some laptops in the same price range with better trackpads. Now, in terms of performance, this laptop ships with the Windows 10 in S mode, which I had mentioned earlier. I don't know what's the utility or purpose for that, but it's very easy to actually go into settings and switch it out of that mode and get into a Windows 10 home version. Now, and even with an i3, which is a dual core processor, it's still plenty powerful. And I was able to edit a few 1080p videos for my YouTube channel. It was pretty easy. Um, and it didn't surprise me because I had been even doing that on my i3 8th generation laptop from last year. So everything else like browsing, streaming, office apps worked very well. The faster NVMe solid state hard drive also makes the laptop boot up and shut down in just few seconds. Battery life is not the claimed 10 hours, it's shorter than that, but I was consistently getting 6 hours plus, depending on how I was using the laptop. Also, laptop comes with a 45-watt power adapter, and the adapter is small and light to carry, but it doesn't, however, charge with a 45-watt USB-C power adapter that I had from a Chromebook, Lenovo Chromebook. I mean, the USB-C only supports data transfer. I connected it to an external display, it didn't work either. So there you go. And that's pretty much what you would expect from a budget laptop. It's also the other thing that you would notice is it does also have a full HD webcam with integrated mics, much better than the 720p webcams that you see in budget laptops or even expensive ones. Unfortunately, no Windows Hello support if you care about that. But again, since it's a budget laptop, I wasn't even expecting it. In terms of overall upgradability, there is an empty RAM slot. I mean, there's two slots. One is populated with an 8 gig stick, so you can replace you can replace that stick and can expand it all the way up to 32 gigs. I'm not sure about 64 gigs. I couldn't find like any accurate information. What's the maximum supported RAM capacity? But for a laptop with the rest of the specifications like this, I would think 16 gigs would be just fine. But remember one thing, I did not like how you take the back panel off. Basically, you have to peel off the rubber strips that serves as the feet to get to all the screws. Then this requires quite a bit of a struggle to get the back off. I would say if you don't have any experience of opening laptops, don't try it. You need right tools and a lot of patience to get the back off without damaging or breaking it. If you're thinking of upgrades, then I would say just do it in one shot. Order everything, bigger hard drive, all the RAM, CPU, thermal compound. So replace the CPU, expand the RAM, put in the new hard drive, and then just slap the back on. Don't keep doing this multiple times because you probably will end up breaking it. There's also, when I opened up the interiors, because you can see, I'll show you in the end of the video how the internals of the laptop look. There's also space for a regular SATA hard drive, but there is no connector. I didn't take off the motherboard to see if there is a place to plug in a connector, but I would probably go if I swap the NVMe SSD for a 512 gig or a 1 terabyte. That should be plenty enough, and I would probably get a bigger battery life to use the free space within that. Now, last year I got the Asus VivoBook Flip 14 with an 8th generation i3, 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of NVMe SSD storage from Micro Center for 299 bucks, which had been the benchmark for a budget laptop, which was very good in quality. Even though the specs were a little bit lower, the price is also a little bit lower. And I would say, if compared to this HP, that laptop was a two-in-one convertible laptop with a very good IPS full HD screen, and the speakers were really really loud, and the overall build quality also good. So in term comparing this HP compared to that, I think this HP is kind of lackluster compared to the build quality, screen, speaker, and the performance between the two are even very comparable. So I do have benchmark results between the HP and the Asus. Well, and you would notice, these are all towards the end of the video, you will notice that the Geekbench scores, the single core performance, this HP with the 10th generation i3, the single core performance is slightly better than that of the Asus with the 8th gen i3, but the multi-core performance between the 8th gen i3 and the 10th gen i3 is almost the same. It is basically a wash. Also in terms of the GPU performance, they were also similar. So this the performance that I got from encoding videos, my 1080p videos out of the HP was this HP is almost the same performance that I got from my Asus. So overall, this HP is a good machine for the price, considering the warranty options and the good support that you get from Costco. And if you need a budget laptop right now, this is one of the best deals out there. If you don't really need, a more advanced configuration. But I don't know if this deal is still available because this still started at the 624 and it's supposed to go till 726. I bought this on 626, and this was probably one of the last pieces at the warehouse at Louisville Costco. Online, it was already sold out. Um, Now, this laptop is perfect for schoolwork, streaming, playing Roblox, photo editing, occasional 1080p video editing if you are on a budget. Overall, good computer for high schoolers, college goers, or even just as a general daily usage computer for the entire home. That's all, guys. That's everything for this review. Hopefully it was useful to you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Also, here are the interiors of the laptop when I took it out, so you can see, as well as the benchmark results. Thanks, guys. Bye.